McQueen is this dark fairy story. My character Dahlia comes to steal a dress from Lee, and we embark on this journey together.
Yeah, it's a journey through Lee's subconscious and psyche, really, and his past, and you touch on specific places. It's a journey from essentially West London back to his roots in East London, in a kind of fantasy scape.
When we were looking at the research and the history of Lee, what was comforting to me is that it really was such a persistent struggle through his entire career, and wasn't lauded through a consistent measure of it. It was actually criticized through most of his time as an artist, and you can understand, I think, when you go on this journey with us through this play, of like how and why and what those trials and tribulations are, and what that means. And I think it's only exacerbated now with social media and everything. It's like everybody's a critic, and everybody thinks they know. And I think what we're left with is with him is, when you go to the V&A, or hopefully when you come and see this, just such a appreciation of his talent and who he was. And he was so spirited and lovely, and had dark sides, but don't we all? I mean, that's the duality of life.
I think the V&A exhibition Savage Beauty is an incredibly emotional experience, and I've urged my friends and stuff to go at all costs, not just because I'm doing this. I think I would have gone and seen it anyway, but to go and see it and walking through was the power of his work is extraordinary, and you understand that it isn't whatever he had. It transcended fashion. It transcended garments.
I remember the first year that I went to the Met Gala was 5 years ago, and it was his. It was the year that they were honoring him. It was right after he had passed, and until you see all of that in one room, you can watch as many things online, but until you go to the V&A, you see these exhibits firsthand. It's so overwhelming. You feel almost paralyzed, because you're like, I don't know what to look at next, and like, it's so theatrical, his work and everything. So yeah, it's like, if I go, there was this one great thrift store in London, and they had a couple of his really old pieces, and just sitting there, like, that's so mental that this person was, that now we're doing a play about. It definitely adds a greater appreciation.
It was a choice, a real choice to take it on, because it was a phenomenal role, but can I do it justice? And I don't know if I am, or it's.
He's not bad, this one. He's not bad.
But it is.
He's amazing.
It's a very unique job, a unique role, because the more I learnt about him, the more the pressure grew. But not pressure. The responsibility is probably a better word. The more the responsibility grew, and the more emotional it became for me to engage with this character that I'm being asked to portray. And I've said to the guys, I was like, that it is we should see it as an honour to try and represent this great man that we sadly lost far too early.
I think that sometimes the perspective of why we live and what life is worth living for, there's that throughout the play, and just to be inspired, like, whatever it is. I mean, I remember seeing Whiplash at the end of last year, and my friend Miles, like, and it's like, you don't have to be a drummer to appreciate that movie. You don't have to be a musician. It's like seeing that passion string through somebody's life. I remember I went out of there, the theater, and I was like, I gotta do things better. I've got to be more passionate and about life and things, and like, even pouring this water in this glass, I really mean it. It's just like, it's just having that inspiration when you see something, and I think that there's a moment at the end of the play where I've left the stage, and every time I watch Stephen, I cry, because it's like I have shivers up and down my whole, and that's not from him playing lead. That's from, you know, it is. But, you know, it's from what he's saying, it just rings so true to me, like to the core of just like why we do this, why we get up every day, you know.